Hello, hello. I have had some people express some interest in some magazine harvesting, so I thought that we would do that today. Um, that picture there was a beautiful waterfall. But anyway, this is the Our State book, which is the North Carolina State magazine, not book, magazine. And they've got some really cool pictures in there. This is one of the magazines I have for sale. There's a handful of them here that I have for sale that you're going to see. And this is one of them. It has got gorgeous pictures from the state, which includes mountains and ocean, because we're a state of like 4 different biomes. We have mountains, plains, ocean, and something else they called it. But yeah, they say, we have like all of it here in this state. So this is the magazine. They've got great black and white images also, which are awesome to make your own faux black and white photographs. A friend of mine here on YouTube from Australia, Bonnie, she has the channel Bonnie and Clive. Clive is her big fat cat. She recently did a video showing what she does to make those photographs out of magazine or book images. She used encyclopedia images, and I've been thinking about making a video myself on different ways that I also do that same technique. I have a lot of the pictures out of here, and I've actually already started fussy cutting a lot of the stuff that I've harvested in the last week. So I found a few doors and entrance ways that I liked. I like those horses there on the beach, that like mama and baby horse. I've got different creative ideas that I would like to try with some of these more obscure images, some of these more basic, a window or a doorway or, a sky. I've been trying to think outside the box and come up with some new things to do with the images that I have. I know that I just went by a watch face, but I've got so many, y'all. Like, I've got so many clock faces. I gotta start using them. I like the girl pouring, and I also like that coffee cup with the cappuccino. The pouring thing, man, we could have so much fun with that. Look at that guy's face. Why didn't I keep that guy? Why did I keep that guy? Oh, I do have it, but I think I threw it out because I already harvested the building off of that. I love that owl. He's cool. Everybody needs an owl, I think. But this magazine here, you really don't know what you're going to get. You got lots of cool food stuff. You got lots of cool historical stuff. You got beautiful landscapes, interesting nature features in these books. And, you get some funny people. Look at that thing. I cut those out. I have those. I fussy cut those out. Because who doesn't want like some kind of ice cream filled with cereal, diabetic stream thing going on? Who doesn't want that, So, these are $1. Any of the magazines that I'm showing that I have many of is $1. I loved those sunflowers on that picture, but that guy was creepy. Okay, the guy was creepy, and then he had like a dog where you can't see it. I like that quote, slow down and take in the view. You can't see the dog because the magazine is just right below the cutoff point there. But it was a kind of a creepy dog too. I'm like, why are you all going to be so creepy in these beautiful sunflowers today? Like, this isn't what I signed up for. So, just the luck of the draw. But I did this while I was watching TV. I like those. I like that. I don't know. It's like a wallpaper or something. I didn't take it though. There's a lot of things I haven't been taking because I've got so much. But anyway, I've been harvesting magazines while I'm watching TV, so I do not, that's why I'm doing a voiceover instead of having it live, because right now at this point in my house, we are watching TV and the children are flapping their faces, so it's kind of a zoo. So that's why you get the voiceover. But I promise, I will still bring the same creative fun into it that I would have if I did a live, you know, a real-time video. The girl with the horse, I cut her out already. I already fussy cut her. You know, I'm going to put her somewhere cool. Maybe space. Look at that sky, though. Like, I've got things. I've got plans. I've got sky things that I want to do with that. And, you know, oh, and that spiral staircase, I cut everything out except for the staircase. And we're going to do something cool with that, too. Okay? We are going to do something cool with that. I only went through these books one time. I kept that, the doorway there. The doorway, see? I kept that one. I only went through these ones one time. And my reason for that is I got about 87,000 million of them, you know? And there comes a point where you have to start and stop with some of these things. And I really just went for whatever grabbed me initially, whatever I found that I could do initially. That had, that page there had that fall scene, and then it was also a turtle on the next page, so I had to take them both. I love the houses. I love the rooms and some of the decor. I love some of that stuff. I keep some of it. Some of the room things. And always check what's in the rooms in the photo. You might see a hilarious statue, okay, or an amazing painting on the wall, or a funky chair that you want to cut out. I mean, the possibilities are seriously endless. There is so much that you could do with things that you see in a picture of a room. And then you can also use the room to put your own things in. You can fill it full of cat pictures. You can make a scene with people that you've cut out, some of your paper dolls. You can do any kind of animals, or you know, surreal alien-esque type things. That right there is somebody on like a catwalk. See right there over the bridge, and I just see things for that catwalk. Did I really not keep that picture on the left? Did I? I didn't. See, when I watch it afterwards, like I see all the ones I wanted to keep. Ain't no way I'm going and fishing this thing out of the trash now, okay? It's been in that trash for a few days. It's going to be covered in some shit. Ain't going after it. Just going to have to live without that picture with all that pretty greenery. Just the way it goes. Just the way it goes. So I did go through that. My daughter also went through that in my last magazine harvest video. She didn't take anything out, but she talked about horse butts. So that was fun too. I like the little rooster dude. This is from Provincetown, where my family lives, out in Massachusetts on the coast. And I try and grab their free magazines every time because they usually have awesome pictures and amazing, you know, nautical things. So I'm going to work on my nautical journal. So I'm saving tall ships and some of the historical photos like that. There's just a whole bunch of historical pictures that I hold on to. So yeah, definitely a cool magazine. I don't have these ones for sale, unfortunately. These are the only two I have. This one and the next one I go through. I think I go through both of them at the same time. And that's it. Just these couple of magazines. And there's some pretty cool, you know, pictures from over the years. In Provincetown with the sailors and the fishermen, lots and lots of fishing. That hotel is near my grandmother's house. I go to the beach right beside it. So I kept that. I'm going to keep the little picture of the topmast hotel. That's the picture of the Pilgrim's Monument there on the left. I've only walked up that one time, and I don't think I could do it today. Seriously, I'm too fat for that today. We walked through an entire flea market today. I don't know how much. I wish I'd turned my pedometer on so I could see how many steps I took, because I took enough steps that I feel like crap tonight. I am exhausted. My head hurts. My face is burnt. And I didn't even find a ton of stuff. Everything I found I could have lived without. But you know what I did get? I did get a giant bag with 500 bangle bracelets in it. You better believe we'd be making some wind chimey thingies with that. We'd be making some thingies. I had to take the remote because the volume was up too high on my TV. Like, my TV's older. It's like it's a little flat screen TV. And it's getting to the point now where the picture's starting to really suck on it. The color isn't as nice. And, oh, sorry, y'all. It's like, I'm tired today, man. I'm beat up. So the sound is screwed up all the time. You know, I can hear it fine, and it's you know, coherent, but the volume is really off, and there's some shows and stuff that this music or the sounds coming out of those speakers goes through me like a knife. It just kills my ears. So I'm constantly, you know, playing throttle control with the volume, and then I get so mad at my husband because he's like deaf or something, even though he's not. Like, I'm the one that's part deaf. I've lost a lot of hearing in the last few years, but he has it up, like he turns it way up. He does that with the radio in the car too, like really loud. Those are some cool little, I don't know, some little flags from over the years. The squealing pig, how cool is that? I don't think I went to the squealing pig when I was there. I don't even think I walked by it. It's kind of hard, you know, when you have two little kids, it's kind of hard to really enjoy the downtown shopping areas because you have two little kids. I mean, you know, sometimes it's hard to enjoy anything when you have two little kids. Okay, it's just difficult. But if you've never been to Cape Cod in Massachusetts, I highly recommend you go. And if you do go, I recommend you go to Provincetown, and I recommend that you go to Provincetown with an open mind, because it is a sanctuary city for the LGBTQ community, and they have got some phenomenal performers there. The drag queen performers, like, I went to one show in particular that I remember so well called Dragapella, and it was Cher, Bette Midler, and Barbra Streisand. I don't know why those three were there, but they were drag queens, okay? And I'm not kidding, like, the woman who did Cher was better than Cher, okay? Better than Cher. 45 pounds of makeup on, that if you got up close, you could be like, whoa, that's 45 pounds of makeup. But on the stage and stuff, oh my God, it was just like looking at Cher on TV. And then, the Bette Midler and Barbra Streisand were kind of like, more comical. But even this Bette Midler was very close to the appearance of Bette Midler. Like, you watch these drag queens. Now listen, I am not a girly girl at all, okay? I try and look nice, and in my younger years, I kept myself with makeup and mascara, and I looked good, and my eyebrows were done, and I always had a nice pair of shoes on. But now, I live for comfort. So, I am not a girly girl. I can't even tell you the last time I put makeup on my face. It had to have been over a year. And these men who do these drag queen shows, they are so good at doing makeup. Like, I need to hire them to come do mine, because I just can't do it anymore. I can't. I did buy myself a primer for my face, from Amazon Prime Day. It's the Kills brand, so it should get rid of all the fungus and mold, and it should cover up any old paint that's left on the surface. No, I'm just kidding. It ain't Kills. It should be Kills, though. It's some Laura Geller, I think. So I don't even know how to prime. Like, how do you even prime your face? You're lucky I put cream on it, for crying out loud. And I only do that for a part of the year, because I cannot wear face cream in the summer at all. None of it. Which, I don't want to hear the crap. I cannot wear sunscreen on my face in the summer. I can't. It makes my face too greasy, so I just stay out of direct sunlight. At the peak times of the summer, I just keep my face out of the sunlight. That's what I do. I got a little sunburn on my face today. I just wasn't thinking. I would have put cream on because the humidity wasn't too bad today. But man, when that humidity kicks in and I put face cream on my face, I I break out like, you know, big painful pimples. This is one of those archaeology magazines. I got a ton of these too. And if you see like what I've been doing here, I've got some awesome statues and some awesome paintings, like those people there. That's a painting. You know, that is the Colosseum in Rome, a part of it, which you could easily cut that out and do something cool. And then the guy with the car, I mean, come on, he is asking for to be somewhere cool. So there are really cool pictures, and I have these two. They're $1 a piece. I have Archaeology and Biblical Archaeology. They're very similar. They're very similar. The difference is the regular archaeology magazines, they visit more places, and the biblical archaeology magazines, they kind of stick to the where there's traces of biblical artifacts, you know, and proof, you know, where there has been things found in the past. This Country Gardens, man, I got a lot of good stuff out of this one. Was really impressed. I love the plants. I'm constantly harvesting and taking the flowers and the plants and the berries. I love the plant images. I kept that one for that little black and white picture. I love this lantern, but I also like those roses, you know, so it's going to be a tough call. I like those wheels, like that's some kind of assemblage, scrap metal art. I really think that's cool. Speaking of scrap metal art stuff, somebody nearby me has a whole bunch of pulleys and sprockets for sale. It's like 100 of them for $40. I'm really thinking about it, y'all, because they're really cool. If you don't know what they are, look them up. A pulley and a sprocket. They are really cool to make as bases for things, for you know, statues that you create, or lamps. And I've been thinking lamps. And like I know my husband, he's been saving pulleys for me. He's got a handful of them from lawnmowers and whatever, you know. But that guy, like that's like 100 of them. I mean, 100 pulleys, you know, totally into 100 pulleys, not gonna lie. I like that little cabinet with all those pots in it, but I also like the crates and the little birdhouse on the other side. So this magazine was hard. There were lots of pages that I liked multiple things. So that, you know, I haven't gotten to any of those pages yet of what I'm fussy cutting. So when I get there, it's going to be a conundrum, not going to lie. It's going to be some serious decisions. I've already been having to make some serious decisions. I had to have my daughter and my husband both decide for me which side I should cut, because I couldn't decide for myself. So, you know, and of course my daughter, she picks it right out. My husband, it's like 45 questions. Well, why don't you photocopy it? And I'm like, well, what if I fussy cut it and sell it? You know, that's copyright infringement. Well, then don't sell it. It's like, you know what? Listen, just stop talking. Tell me which picture you like. Old man, just stop, okay? I love flower arrangements, but I have to limit myself because I've got so many. And I just love those flowers right there. And look at this whole room. It's like some kind of shabby chic wonderland. So I keep all those pages because that's all the same little cottage theme. Love that. Love it. So yeah, that's staying. These garden pictures are gorgeous. This is like a desert garden, which is gorgeous too. You know, I just can't keep all the things. I can't. I like those little sprouties though. Like the little sprouties. But I want to keep all the things, you know. Like I love that stone bench. I love the pictures. I love all the flowers. You know, hydrangeas. Those desert gardens, really cool. This is another garden magazine I have. Both of these I have, $1 a piece. This one's got a lot of cool illustrations in it. Like that, you know, illustrated flowers, which I love. And a bee. I mean, you gotta have a bee. You can't just leave him in there. So these ones have a lot of really cool gardening and botanical pictures in it. And it's good too if you're a gardener and you're looking for advice on that. It's perfect. I am not a gardener, so unless it had advice on how to kill your plants, this has no bearing on my life because I'm really good at killing plants. That's a hummingbird. Had to keep that. Like those big flowers. Look at all those little birds. Got to keep them little birdies. and the flowers. Put those two pages together. And then, you know, I like the morning glory flowers. I know that they're a weed and they're horrible, but the flowers are beautiful, you know, even though they take over everybody's life. I still think the flowers are pretty on paper, you know. I don't have to worry about pulling those weeds out of my garden. I just have to cut them up and put them in a box. I love the greenery. Like in these pictures too, these full page like garden layouts. They've got some great flowers and some great pictures to look at. So yeah, if you're looking for garden, floral, greenery pictures, I got a ton of these garden magazines. A few different titles too. I have this one, this is Garden Gate. I have that Country Garden one. This is the Cinescape. I'm really sorry about being a little out of frame, but I promise you're not missing a ton of stuff. This is one of the sci-fi magazines, and I have that face, and then I have that TV there, which I like that guy's face. So these sci-fi magazines are awesome for Halloween stuff. And again, I got a bunch of these for $1 a piece too. And they've got cool characters, and a lot of them are characters from the 90s, which, you know, some of them carry a different level of weird, the 90s sci-fi characters, compared to now. And I think the weirdness is the lack of effects, the lack of special effects used in those shows and movies. So you get a good amount of creepy in those pictures. And I mean, like, look at those ladies there. Creepy. X-Files always has some creepy stuff. You know, there's cartoon characters, Wolverine. Wow, has Wolverine really been out for that long? Like 100 years now. You know, people on horses, you can easily put pumpkin heads on there. This super weird lady. And, you know, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The possibilities are endless with these sci-fi magazines in the creepy department. So yeah, buy my crap. This is just one of the magazines that I have. You'll see the other ones here shortly. Creepy face. Then it's also like Godzilla face on the back. The Lizard King. That's awesome. I like those guys' faces in the corners. And also the Godzillas. Obviously, Godzilla's terrific. But get your orders in if you want some cool Halloween stuff out of some of these magazines, because you know, Halloween's coming up. Your Halloween journal should be, your fall, autumn, Halloween, following journal should be going. You should have started it by now. So yeah, here's just the sci-fi magazine. This one too has some pretty cool characters in it, like that big foam dude, looks like the Michelin Man. And I take him out of there. And I like this, like, I don't know, there's just things in there that bring you back to the 90s, you know. That guy with a snake on his neck is cool. I have a lot of cool things to cut out. I haven't gotten to this part of the fussy cutting yet. Like I said, I've been fussy cutting what I harvested already, because I refuse to put any of these images into a box. I refuse to put any of these pages into a box unharvested. So I'm harvesting this whole pile. That face was so creepy, right? Creepy face. So I'm harvesting the whole pile that I'm sorry, I'm fussy cutting the whole pile that I harvested. Some good creepy faces on that page too, you know. Yeah, they're not going, the pages aren't going anywhere. They are going in the trash, and then the fussy cut images are going in my fussy cut piles, or I might be using them on my newest gluing adventure, because I got some really cool pictures, and that book has no rhyme or reason, you know, my glooby dooby doo. There's no rhyme or reason to the images in there, or how they look, how they work. It's just a mishmash of things that I like to look at. So the creepy ones, you know, they'll be fall. I don't have any fall stuff left because I sold all my Halloween stuff to someone, which I'm totally cool with because I can totally use a refresh in my fall stash stuff. So that's what I'm working on a fall refresh. I love going through these magazines too and seeing people in them that I had no clue were in sci-fi magazines at all, or shows. I have no idea some of these characters were. This history magazine has some really cool pictures too. That building, that little mechanical thing there, that horse from like the Horse of Troy, but I also like the picture on the back, so decisions there is going to have to be made. And, there's some historical stuff that I will not create with. I won't create with war or famine or anything like that, military, anything that depresses or takes lives. I don't believe in using that stuff for art. And those are really the only things that I won't create with. So everything else is fair game, but I did leave a lot behind in this book because, like I said, I don't believe in using World War II soldiers and stuff in battle, as pieces of art. I do have pictures of soldiers. I do have pictures of entire platoons, but I don't use the action photos that show you what they're doing. I don't want anything to bring you down when you look at a collage or a piece of artwork that I made, and I don't want anything to bring myself down. Those pages got some good, copies of fussy cut stuff. And then I take all these pages out because I got some great black and white cartoons and black and white images. That guy's really cool. If I had to take that guy out, could totally see him. I could totally see some things with him. Put a different head on, take his head and send it someplace else. Those like old, what would it be, like medieval portraits are awesome to look at. They're a lot of fun to look at. So I got a pile here. I tried to grab like one or two of everything, and just to give you a taste. This is the Biblical Archaeology magazine. The last one was just the Archaeology magazine. I do point at the pictures that I'm going to use, like that jug there. Some of the things I love to use are bottles and jars and jugs and vases and things of that nature. They work in any situation. I like that building there with the columns. I like buildings. I like structural things. And of course, I love a beautiful sky. You can't beat that. But there's not a whole lot of beautiful skies in the archaeology magazines. But look at those stone carvings. Amazing. And I do like those steps there. Those are pretty cool. But I don't grab those out of there. I don't know why. I like this picture too with that reflection. I don't know. I can just see things. I can just see things there. And look at that. Jugs on the bottom of that page. These magazines have lots of really cool textures. Really cool, carvings and rocks and mountainous things. Just earth texture. Just pretty earth stuff. Okay? It's a pretty earth place. It's pretty earthy magazines with pretty earthy things. And I have these for $1 each if you want. Most of them are from like the last 15 to 20 years maybe. I don't know. I might have some early 2000s and I might have some teens. So, man, it's so weird to think that like 20 years ago was 2003. Still feels like it was like 5 years ago. It's like 20 minutes ago was 2003. These do have some cool stuff. I really enjoy these archaeology magazines. I like that cover. I like that statue thing right there. I guess I don't take it. Ooh, I like that too. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool watching myself go through these because it brings all my, all the creative thoughts back to the forefront of my brain. That's a painting of the Last Supper. I really like to see some artists renditions of The Last Supper. Like this one guy that I follow on Instagram, he buys thrift store pictures and he alters them. And his favorite one to alter is ones of The Last Supper, which, yeah, obviously. I liked that bust and I liked the jewels. I have a thing for jewelry. I don't know why. I just cut jewels out of everything. I love that guy's nose. Just great, great nose. And of course, columns and statuesque dudes. But see all the great texture you get with these? Like the terrific, like I love that right there. There's just some terrific, designs and patterns that you just can't, you don't get these in a lot of other magazines unless they're science related stuff. But yeah, these get some cool things in them. And they're like kind of a specialty magazine, so they do have, they're just different. Oh, and of course, if you get a cool statue, you gotta take it. You can't pass up a cool statue. It's just amazing how much art you can create out of a magazine and out of simple magazine images. Like I got all these magazines. I've got hundreds of magazines, hundreds. And, it's just so much terrific content. I like those pictures. Those gotta come with me. And these magazines, like these sci-fi, all of these magazines, the person I got them from, they were so perfectly maintained. They were kept in big plastic bags, in proper boxes, plastic totes, in a temperature-controlled basement. It's just nuts. It's nuts how much these were really cared for. So the person who owned these were really into these magazines. And most of them, like, she ordered them online because she had marked the boxes that had her address, the boxes that were filled out to her, eBay, 1996 to 1997 or whatever years the magazines were from. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Most of these sci-fi ones, I think I mentioned this earlier, most of them are from the 90s. There's a few from the early 2000s. I'm sorry if my voiceover's like all over the place. I've really done this voiceover over the course of like a week. So, just pecking away at it a little at a time. So that's why sometimes it sounds like I'm in my car, because I am. When my husband's in doctor's appointments and stuff, I'll do it from the car. And then sometimes I get to do it from the peace and quiet of my bedroom. Because we have been binge watching the show Suits on Netflix. And it has Meghan Markle in it. And I kind of wish I watched this show before I realized what a scumbag Meghan Markle was. Because she's just, I don't know. I can't respect her in the show. And like, you should respect her character in the show. She's got, she's this sweetsy girl. But in real life, you know that she's a family-wrecking butthead, right? And I mean, I'm sure some of you love her and some of you totally agree with her story, but I just see nothing but bad coming out of that woman's soul. And I'm not usually wrong about that stuff. And she's just one of those people who's got a dark mark in her soul. Sorry, don't mean to get controversial. If you don't like my controversy, stay off my channel, I guess. But yeah, she's just strange. But the show is pretty good. It's good. It's got some really interesting things. It's got some pretty cool, storylines and little shoot-offs of different situations and different stories. So I kind of like it. But it's really a lot of whining. Like, it's about lawyers, and I never realized. I hope it's really not like that. Like, how much lawyers whine. What a bunch of babies, for real. Just bitching, complaining, arguing babies. It's just nuts. Lots of good black and white stuff here to make some faux photographies. We're totally going to do that. We're totally going to do a video of that soon, okay? Like I said, Bonnie and Clive did it, but I'm totally going to do a video of the faux photographs. And we'll do some cool stuff, like, we'll rough them up and we'll ink some edges, and, you know, we'll do it up. We'll do it up. Well, maybe we'll decal some edges like those ones that are all decal-edged. Yeah. I hope you're getting a good idea, though, of like what you can save out of magazines. I know I've had a lot of people ask me about harvest videos because I do a ton of harvesting all the time. So I kind of hope this gives you a little bit of an idea. And just keep in mind, like those archaeology magazines, the Sci-fi, the Our State magazines, the gardening magazines, I have tons of them. And they're just $1 each plus shipping. And the shipping really isn't that bad, since the post office kind of revamped their shipping system. I can ship heavier packages for less money. What used to cost 14, 15, 16 bucks due to its weight now costs like 7 to 10 bucks. So it's really good in that aspect. You know, when you're up over a pound, I can do it pretty cheap. So yeah, you know, $1 a magazine plus shipping. If you get a whole bunch of magazines, like 7 pounds worth of magazines or something, I could probably get it to you for less than 10 bucks unless you're in California. And even in California, maybe it'd be like 12 bucks, 13 bucks maybe. I don't know why. Like, California is a really expensive place to ship to. And I even talked to people that are from, oh, I love all those little character dudes. Totally going to be something weird with those. I talked to a lot of people, like even in the Midwest, shipping to California is expensive from the Midwest, which is much fewer miles than over here in the Southeast. So, yeah, California. Y'all got to do something about that. I love to ship you things, and I love to make sales to all you Californians, but I just can't do it, man. You know, this shipping's getting right out of control. These Sci-fi magazines got some cool Halloween stuff for real, though. Like that guy, dark, deep. Look at that face, like total Halloween-y. Monsters. I really wish I didn't throw these out because I'm kind of wishing I had some of those fonts. Like I took that for the fonts. So yeah, like I kind of just finished this one, and that's it for this video. And they both have similar, similar pictures in them. So lots of, you know, obviously lots of pictures from all over the place, and there's lots of different like scenic stuff. I liked that lighthouse thing. And again, I'm sorry that I'm so out of frame. I promise, see, obviously I got to take that cat person thing, right? I promise that you're not missing much out of the frame. Okay, you're not missing much. There isn't really a whole lot that I grab that is underneath where you can see. Most of it you can see.